Wilson and Dedmon headed to Paris, and they meet the line at the same time. 44.2.
While professional runners train for years to break the 45-second barrier in the 400 meters, a 17-year-old high school student just ran faster than almost every pro in the world. His name is Quincy Wilson, and his story is one of the most amazing things happening in track and field right now. Quincy goes to Bullis School in Maryland. He's a regular high school senior who gets straight A's, hangs out with his friends, and thinks about his homework before he goes to sleep. But on the track, he's anything but regular. On July 12th in Memphis, Tennessee, he lined up against Olympic champions and world-class professionals. When the race was over, his time read 44.10 seconds.
Wilson to his inside, he's covering with hard inside, coming. Can Wilson hold on? It is going to be Quincy Wilson!
To understand how fast that is, you need to know that only 3 men in the entire world ran faster than Quincy in 2025. Not 3 high schoolers, 3 people total. He tied with Matthew Hudson Smith, the Olympic silver medalist from Great Britain. That's the company Quincy is keeping at just 17 years old.
And that time of
The race in Memphis wasn't close. Quincy started in lane 5, right next to Steve Gardner from the Bahamas, who won the Olympic gold medal in Tokyo back in 2021. Within the first 80 meters, Quincy was already up on Gardner's shoulder. He ran the opening 200 meters with complete confidence, then pulled away in the final stretch. His closest competitor, Bryce Dedmon, finished almost 0.3 of a second behind him. After the race, Quincy explained what made the difference. "If you see my races before, I haven't been getting out of the blocks well," he told the crowd. "My coach has been telling me stay on the process, do what we've got to do. I went out there and shot out like a bullet. I'm super thankful and blessed." That 44.10 broke Quincy's own world record for athletes under 18 years old. It also moved him to second place on the all-time list for athletes under 20. The only person ahead of him is Steve Lewis, an American who ran 43.87 at the 1988 Olympics when he was 19 years old. Quincy is still 17. He has time.
There, who is Stephen Lewis of the United States and Danny Everett. Will the 19-year-old hang on? Here comes Butch Reynolds. The race to the finish line. Reynolds with that surge, but Everett hung on. Or I should say Lewis hung on.
But Memphis wasn't his first big moment. Actually, Quincy has been breaking records since he was in 8th grade. Back then, he ran 47.5 seconds, and people started paying attention. By the time he turned 16, he was running under 45 seconds. Most professional runners never get there. What really put Quincy on the map was the 2024 U.S. Olympic trials. He showed up as a 16-year-old high school student and ran 3 straight races under 45 seconds. In the preliminary round, he clocked 44.66.
Here they come off the turn, the top 5 advance. Quincy Wilson, the high school sophomore from Maryland. Wilson.
2 days later in the semifinals, he improved to 44.59. In the final, he ran 44.94 and finished 6th overall. Those times earned him a spot on the U.S. Olympic relay team. Quincy became the youngest American male track athlete ever to make an Olympic team. When Team USA won gold in the 4x400-meter relay in Paris, Quincy earned a gold medal too. He ran in the preliminary heats, which means he officially contributed to the victory. At 16 years old, he became the second youngest track and field Olympic gold medalist in history. But being young and talented also comes with pressure. After the Olympics, Quincy's life changed fast. His Instagram followers jumped to almost 400,000. Every time he races, crowds mob him for pictures. At one meet in Virginia Beach, fans nearly toppled him and his teammates after a relay race. The attention is constant. Quincy said, "Since I've grown up to be kind of a child star, I kind of realize that now people have expectations of me." He handles it by staying close to his tight circle of friends at Bullis School. Colin Abrams, Chris Tangelo, and Javante Williams are all track athletes too, and they support each other through the pressure. "We try to live the moment the most we can," Quincy explained, "because we know that some of these opportunities we have may never come again." His family plays a huge role in keeping him grounded. Quincy's father, Roy, was a running back in the Navy and later commanded a submarine for over 20 years. His mother, Monique, played college soccer and now keeps Quincy focused on what matters. She reminds him constantly to stay on task. If she catches him scrolling through TikTok instead of paying attention, she'll call him out immediately. That focus shows up in the classroom just as much as on the track. Quincy has never scored below a 94 on any report card. He's interested in mechanical engineering and sports journalism. In English class, his classmates joke that he's like ChatGPT because he's so good at writing essays. "The feeling you get when you have a bad grade, I just can't live with that feeling," he said. "I can't live with the bad feeling of not having the work done or thinking about the work I didn't complete when I go to sleep." That same perfectionist drive makes him nearly unstoppable in races. At the 2024 Penn Relays, Quincy showed exactly what he's capable of when things go wrong. In the preliminary round, one of his teammates got tripped and had to recover the baton. Bullis School fell way behind. Quincy got the baton for the anchor leg and had 5 runners ahead of him. Somehow, he caught every single one of them. His split was 44.37 seconds, the fastest high school split ever recorded at Penn Relays. His team won their heat and moved on to the finals. Later that same day in the finals, another teammate fell during the second exchange. Once again, Quincy got the baton with his team far behind. He ran another sub-45 split at 44.69 seconds, but this time the gap was too big. They finished third. Still, watching a 16-year-old chase down Olympic-level runners twice in one day felt supernatural to everyone in the stands. "I've always just tried to be the last one standing," Quincy said about his approach. "Once I find the tactic, I just think to myself, if I can beat him on this leg, I'm going to stick to it." That competitive fire actually started at home playing Monopoly with his family. Long game sessions taught him to outlast everyone else. After a while, he said, "I started to win because I stayed up." Quincy also has a mentor in Vernon Norwood, a 33-year-old Olympic gold medalist who lives in Louisiana. They met for the first time in June 2024 and immediately connected. They play NBA 2K together online, where Quincy uses a character that looks like him but can dunk and shoot threes like a professional basketball player. When they were both at the Paris Olympics, Vernon acted as Quincy's chaperone anytime he left the Olympic Village, which is required for athletes under 18. Vernon sees something special in Quincy. Vernon said, "He's a phenomenal athlete, and it's rare to see that type of talent come around. So when you do, you want to nurture and develop it and make sure he can become the greatest." His advice to Quincy is simple: keep the main thing the main thing. Being such a high-profile person now, it will come with a whole lot. He has to stay grounded. The 2025 season hasn't been perfect, though. In May, Quincy lost to another high schooler named Jaden Horton-Mims, who ran 45.24 and took over the #1 ranking. People started whispering online. Had Quincy plateaued? Was all the Olympic hype too much? Memphis was his answer. That 44.10 silenced every doubter and proved that his Olympic performance wasn't luck. He's genuinely one of the fastest 400-meter runners on the planet. Right now, only 0.77 seconds separate Quincy from Steve Lewis's under-20 world record of 43.87. Michael Johnson's American record of 43.18 sits about 1 second away. Given how fast Quincy has been improving each year, both records feel possible.
Gout has done the unthinkable, breaking the 10-second barrier in the 100 meters twice in one night.
Europe just received a sprinting talent who shouldn't be flying under the radar. At only 17, Gout is producing the kind of jaw-dropping speed that signals a generational star, yet almost no one has noticed his arrival. That silence won't last long. On August 23, 2025, in Queensland, Australia, Gout blasted to a stunning 9.94 in the 100 meters. The time was unofficial, overlooked, and somehow barely earned a headline. Why? Let's get this out of the way. The 9.94 won't go down in the official books. Because it was hand-timed, the margin of error, typically 0.2 to 0.3 seconds, means it doesn't count for records. But this wasn't some practice jog. Gout's manager, James Templeton, said, "It's a low-key event, the GPS, school meet, but it's good to get a run in, a nice little warm-up, and shows the form he is in for Tokyo in 3 weeks." That form wasn't a fluke. It was a warning. To understand how wild this is, consider the context. Gout already ran a wind-assisted 9.99 at the national championships in April. Before that, his legal best was 10.17, set at just 16 years old. The raw speed has been there, but the consistency, that's new. And it's terrifying, because while other teens are running junior times, Gout is putting up numbers that rival full-grown Olympians. And this wasn't a one-time thing. This was Gout's second sub-10-second run in just 4 months. That alone places him in an elite category, regardless of timing method. When you combine that with his 200-meter numbers, the comparisons to sprint legends become unavoidable.
So let's watch the young superstar rise. He's flying. He will be Gout of this universe.
Earlier in 2025, Gout ran a wind-assisted 19.84 to win the 200-meter national title. Then in June, during a short European tour, he dropped a legal 20.02 at the Golden Spike meet in Ostrava, Czech Republic, breaking the Oceanian record set by Peter Norman 56 years ago. That race was his international senior debut. No nerves, no missteps, just domination. And yet, despite breaking historic records, this kid isn't even on every radar. Why? Because it's not happening in the US or Jamaica. Because the meets he's running aren't always broadcast. Because, quite frankly, the world still hasn't figured out how to take Australia seriously in sprinting. But that may be about to change. The Tokyo 2025 World Athletics Championships were the first real stage for Gout. He didn't enter the 100 meters, he's still saving that for future championships, but he did line up in the 200 meters, facing off against global stars like Noah Lyles and Letziel Tebogo. His focus wasn't just to show up, it was to belong, and from all early indications, he delivered. While the final results put Lyles on top, Gout's semi-final performance turned heads. Against seasoned champions, he looked like he belonged. His story isn't just about speed, it's about origin. Gout was born in Ipswich, Queensland, to parents who migrated from South Sudan. He's a Year 12 student at Ipswich Grammar School, balancing elite competition with school assignments. He's not just a prodigy, he's a grounded teenager with an explosive gift. His name first started buzzing in the athletics world when he ran 10.17 as a 16-year-old, the fastest ever by an Australian of that age. Since then, it's been a rapid climb, but it's the quietness of that climb that's almost more remarkable. Gout hasn't needed flashy interviews or marketing campaigns, his legs do the talking, and lately, they've been screaming. At the Australian Championships in April 2025, he stunned again, this time with a 9.99-second 100-meter and a 19.84-second 200-meter. Both times were wind-assisted and not officially record-eligible, but they showcased a raw potential that was impossible to ignore. Then, in June, during a European debut at the Golden Spike meet in Ostrava, Gout ran a blistering 20.02 seconds in the 200 meters under legal conditions, shattering the Oceanian record and turning heads across the sprinting world. Finally, in August, at a low-profile school meet in Queensland, he clocked the now-famous hand-timed 9.94. Unofficial or not, it confirmed what many already suspected. This kid is for real. Most sprinters dream of going sub-10 once in their career. Gout has now done it twice, yes, unofficially, but with enough precision and consistency to suggest it's only a matter of time before he does it legally. And not just once. What makes him even more terrifying is the way he runs. Gout isn't just fast out of the blocks, he builds. Like Bolt, his stride opens up mid-race. And just like Bolt, his top-end speed is freakish. His 200-meter races in particular reveal a finishing strength that most sprinters don't develop until their mid-20s. There's also the fact that Gout is already competing against elite seniors and winning. During his Diamond League debut in Monaco, he won the under-23 200 meters with a time of 20.10 seconds, battling a minus 1.9 headwind. That kind of result shows he isn't just fast in favorable conditions. He can power through headwinds and still deliver world-class performances. He's learning how to race under pressure, in stadiums packed with seasoned professionals, and he's not blinking. And then there's the attitude. Gout is quiet, focused, confident, but not arrogant. He knows the work ahead. In interviews, he doesn't boast. He's not interested in being famous, just in being fast. His versatility is also worth noting. While most sprinters choose to specialize early, Gout is keeping his options open. His camp has confirmed he'll likely run the 100 meters at the 2026 Commonwealth Games in Glasgow, where the event is scheduled early in the program. That gives him the flexibility to also compete in the 200 meters or rest up for other meets later in the season. There's also the World Junior Championships in Eugene, Oregon, immediately after, making his 2026 schedule one of the most stacked of any young sprinter on the planet. Gout's calm demeanor and technical mastery on the track offer a glimpse of a long-term prospect rather than a fleeting sensation. He's not rushing for quick wins. His training regimen reportedly includes both speed refinement and strength conditioning, often with a focus on race-specific simulations to mimic competitive stress. His coaches have also noted his ability to process race footage and feedback with a maturity well beyond his years. He visualizes his races, adapts on the fly, and rarely makes the same mistake twice. That level of discipline, combined with his natural talent, gives him the rare ability to improve rapidly while maintaining poise. International analysts have already begun drawing comparisons to the rise of young sprinters like Trayvon Bromell and Johan Blake. But Gout's trajectory feels unique. His debut on the world stage hasn't been marred by pressure or injury, two of the most common derailers of young talent. Instead, he's arriving methodically, checking off benchmarks, and mastering the art of elite-level sprinting step by step. And as his confidence grows, so does the belief that he's not just fast for his age, he's fast. Period. What's next? The 2026 season is already shaping up to be a blockbuster. Gout is expected to run both the 100 meters and 200 meters at the Commonwealth Games in Glasgow. The 100 meter is scheduled early in the competition, giving him a clear path to rest and refocus for the 200 meter. After that, he'll head to the World Junior Championships in Eugene, Oregon. And then all eyes will be on Paris 2028. Gout may not be a household name yet, but if he continues on this path, he'll soon be more than a comparison to Usain Bolt. He'll be a challenge to his legacy. This isn't hype, it's performance, and it's coming fast.
The switch feels really nice, really exciting. It's a really big challenge. That's also why I want to do it.
Sydney McLaughlin-Levrone couldn't believe it. The track world was shaken after Femke Bol, the top star of the 400-meter hurdles, made a huge move that nobody expected. On October 28, 2025, Bol announced she is walking away from the event that made her a champion. She's now turning toward one of the toughest races in the sport, the 800 meters. The news hit fans hard, and even Sydney was stunned by Bol's bold choice.
It's an absolute procession. It's a glittering gold for Femke Bol.
Femke Bol's revelation came through a calm, carefully worded Instagram post. But the calmness of her words belied the earthquake it caused in the athletics world. It's a big change. It's uncertain and challenging, but I'm ready to put in the work, surrounded by an amazing team, and enjoy this new journey, she wrote. Behind those lines was a daring career move, one that few athletes in her position would ever consider. Bol had just defended her 400-meter hurdles world title at the 2025 World Championships in Tokyo with a blazing 51.54 seconds, and now she was pivoting to an entirely new battlefield. Why? Because for Bol, domination wasn't enough. She wanted the thrill of the unknown. This isn't just a change of scenery. It's a dramatic shift in athletic identity. Bol is walking away from the comfort of a specialty she's mastered to enter an event notorious for breaking even the best. The 800 meters is a chess match played at top speed, and Bol, by her own admission, is entering as a beginner. I think into the event I'm going really as a beginner, she said in an interview with European Athletics. I have no clue about running it, but I'm not a beginner athlete anymore. Her fans were floored. So was her fiercest rival. Sydney McLaughlin-Levrone, who recently blazed a 47.78 in the open 400 meters at Worlds, knew better than anyone what Bol was capable of on the track. But even Sydney had to take a moment. It's rare to see a top athlete make a seismic shift in the middle of their dominance, yet Bol was clear. I want to do it while I still feel at my best. That confidence isn't unfounded. Bol's speed profile reads like the blueprint of an elite 800-meter runner. She's clocked 11.47 in the 100-meter, 22.80 in the 200-meter, and holds the indoor world record of 49.17 in the 400-meter. She also ran a staggering 1 minute 5.63 seconds over 500 meters, a seldom contested distance, but one that hints at her hybrid endurance and power. And then there's the 400-meter hurdles European record, 50.95. These numbers show a rare blend of explosiveness and stamina, exactly the combination needed to thrive over 2 laps. But raw speed alone doesn't make an 800-meter champion. The event is an unpredictable storm of surges, strategy, and brutal pacing. For Bull, the challenge isn't just physical, it's mental.